500 gold saved up. He has bought tangos and not much else.
I'm kind of interested in seeing the maths on it, but I feel like for a hero like Doom who has 0 armor, a Ring of Protection might be as much value as a Start Shield this early on. Like, Start Shield's obviously usually more value, but I'm not sure, like, I kind of prefer the Ring of Protection, which builds into the Tranquils or the Bassi or the Iron Talon, which are all good Doom items. I don't know if I agree with starting on Start Shield.
We used to see double Ring of Protection on Dooms even, on a number of offlane heroes. Phoenix, Batrider, Doombringer, double Ring Protection to go for Tranquils and Bassi if you wanted to. It's always pretty damn nice, but the bounty rune's going to be one apiece here. Doom. Boombell, I don't know, considering maybe going to try and steal it, but he'll realise very quickly. All of the Radiant heroes are sitting around there. Oh, we see the way.
One thing about Doom that has been forgotten, because it's not been in the offlane for quite a long time, but I cast a couple of games with offlane Doom this week, and if you do give the hero space and it gets levels, all of a sudden it really can be quite a menacing presence. It can terrorize your supports, and just one level in that early Infernal Blade plus maxing a Scorched Earth. If you get the right creep, combine it with, I don't know, the Hadouken or something, and all of a sudden you're the one doing the dominating. So it is a very important offlaner to try and shut down early on and keep out of the lane.
Already Signature Trust, they tried to go in on the Zeus. Level 1 Reality Rift with the tether from the Wisp as well. The Liar. You've got to be wary about MyPro. He seems angry on the CK, already being very aggressive, but the Tusk is sitting in these trees just behind the Zeus, ready to save his teammate. Well, Fei Mao, this is basically a tri-lane mid. It's a tri-lane from Trust up against the Zeus at the mid lane, so it's a 1v1 between the Tidehunter and the Necro up at top, and the Doombringer down at bottom lane. He's going to get stunned up here, but with no Tusk available with the Ice Shards, they try and chip away at his life points little by little. He hits his level 2 and he's got a Mango as well to get the Scorched Earth out. A real kill potential for them. Bottle for Zeus is already here at the mid lane, and this Tusk making damn sure it doesn't get sniped. Put it back on the courier. A little efficiency there. No reduced movement speed, anything like that. Fisher not going to block the Liar out, and a jump over there onto Fisher there. The Liar's going to caught underneath his tower, but he's not going to die just yet. The final hit comes into Micro with a charge. Scrap in the CK. He'll die to the tier 1. And Dr. Pushin. Oh man, if he had been a little bit faster there, maybe the Zeus survives.
I think you said it yourself, my first team's a little bit angry, like, he really wants some revenge, and they were really looking for a long time to catch the CK's Reality Rift into stun, into Fissure. Eventually they just stopped with the Fissure, and that means they have to dive into the tower, unfortunately. It doesn't mean they trade, but it just seems like MyPro's impatient in this, man. He's like, we should be killing the Zeus, and he's going again right now.
And with another Fissure blocking him off, they try to kill Jabs, and the Zeus does get a kill before MyPro takes his life. That's
I mean, this is not,
deaths on
like,
Zeus.
when you try lane mid, you don't expect to be trading kills. You're meant to be killing 1 for 0 each time.
Oh god, that bottom lane, Boombell. He said he could pressure out these supports, and he killed off the Vengeful Spirit, but the Scorched Earth is going to run himself away. And Spectre was close to death herself. Don't even get the kill on the Doom.
I think that some people underestimate the damage output from Infernal Blade. It's a skill that's not been... initially when I got added to the hero just didn't get it all. And then some regions started having jungle Dooms, but we haven't seen a whole lot of it in the offlane when you're actually using that skill on supports combined with the Scorched Earth, and it's really a lot of damage.
Oh, he gets himself a Quelling Blade and eats through the little tree there, mid lane again, stunned through. And with another Fissure from Fei Mao, it's on the wrong side, and Zeus bottles through the damage output of the Wisp, and Fei Mao actually going to give the Zeus a new lease of life there. I don't know, Trust are going to be pretty upset with it, missing out on a kill at this mid lane again.
And Zeus bolts the ground saying they've got to have a high ground ward, but intelligently enough, Signature Trust's ward is actually on their own high ground. It's going to be very difficult for Zeus to deal with.
There's even 2 Observer Wards over to the side of this mid lane, realizing the potential he roams in. They'll know exactly where Fei Mao is, and that's what the Tide is looking for. The Fisher back to Shards. Oh, it does block him in, and the snowball forward, they caught him. Dr. Pushin gets the kill back onto the Tusk. Well, what's it going to come to as the Reality Rift forward? MyPro catches the Tidehunter. That could be a pretty simple takedown there. Jabs with his little orbs of light will kill him.
So, much better start for Signature Trust this game than the previous game, like, definitely by any standards. At the same time, I feel like they wanted the mid lane to be a bit more one-sided than it has been. I think the Zeus has got more value than what they wanted to get, but because of how well the Doom is doing in the off lane, it doesn't really matter that much. The overall early control is definitely favoring Signature Trust.
Well, I think the fact that Chaos Knight has only got one death to his name, and you know, Zeus, he died, TP'd, and then died again, so he had to run back into the mid. Being pretty rough for him. But it's going to be the smoke from Wisp and Earthshaker looking for the kill on the Spectre down at bot. Tengu, he's having a decent laning phase so far with the last hits he's got. They can see him, they know where he's standing, and Fei Mao is waiting and aiming with his Fisher. Wants Boombell to shove this lane in, and it's got to be pretty obvious for the Spectre, the way that the Doom has been really hitting these creeps, that some kind of dive is coming in. Not gonna go in
waited
behind
really long. Spectre didn't have a dagger. I thought they would just dive under the tower because Spectre didn't have a dagger. And now they got creeps, but Spectre got a dagger.
Oh, mid lane again. The Liar, he's caught another time with the ice snowball forward though. The Zeus is surviving, bottles through, but it's not enough to get away from the damage of Micro. Oh, Dr. Pusheen, he wants to kill Gap, but with a bottle across, they'll stun back again. The Tusk doesn't have a snowball, he's got another shard in 3 seconds time, but he's gonna die before he can even get it out. And Trust now 6 kills to the good. There's only 3 back. Magical, Vengeful Spirit, not blocked off there in the trees. Doom's got his phase boots. But Trust, yeah, you're right. This start is pretty good for them so far.
Yeah, I mean the fundamental problem for NGE is that the Zeus can't deal with the Wisp CK alone. So Tusk has to help, but Spectre and Venge actually can't deal with Doom alone. Like a strong offlane, Spectre Venge is a really weak dual lane and a safe lane, and the strong offlaner punishes that. So the Tusk kind of has to be everywhere all the time, and you can see how he's getting spread thin and ends up paying the price himself there as a result.
Now you've got an Orb of Venom on Boombell, so Infernal Blade and Orb of Venom. It's gonna be an awful time. Yeah, for the Radiant, and Fei Mao actually thinks that he's been spotted out by an observer ward, but the Radiant range creep somehow just saw him through the trees and started clicking him. There is no vision there from the Dire, from the Radiant until now. The observer ward does get placed out. So I'm going to try and dive this. Ice Shards will trap Boombell and slow him down a little bit. There's both a Wisp and an Earthshaker here sitting around near them. While Micro's been allowed to farm towards the mid, Zeus is back in his fountain. And there's one lane that we haven't really paid attention to because nothing's been happening at top. Kells has been farming and farming with 45 last hits. He's got himself a vitality booster and an Orb of Venom to try and slow down the tide, but he's that bottom lane. Boombell stunned up and Fisher across. Boombell, he's not dead just yet, and he is actually surviving through it all, but the Doom back onto the Liar. The Zeus is dropped, and NGE. They can't even find a counter kill. The kill is actually keeping himself down to the bottom lane. He'll look for the side on the Pusheen, and he's got it. There's the kill. Does actually take him out during the duration. No additional death time. But they'll find a Spectre as well. Is that 4 or is that 5?
Good. Scorched Earth is good.
Scorched Earth, tether with stick charges, everything here on the Boombell.
Yeah. This game is like fast approaching the status of last game, and that's without the level 1 rush, without the presence of an Alchemist. It's just like the lane stages worked out really miserably for NGE, and I mean, Spectre has gotten to level 6, has gotten a... So if they manage to make a few pickoffs with the Horns coming in, gain some own charges, like get some sort of comeback gold, maybe they could pull their flow a little bit back into this game, but no, I do feel like we're well on the track to something quite similar to last game in the opposite direction.
Especially when you look at the levels as well, you know, 8, 7 and 7 on the Necro, Chaos Knight and Doom respectively. You're hitting level 6 over on these NGE heroes, but the Thunder God's Wrath didn't really get paired up with a Ravage or a Haunt or anything like that. I think with Tidehunter's first Ravage, he's actually bought himself a Smoke. They have to make something work with this. Keep in behind the tier 1 mid lane. Maybe try and make a go. Kill onto the Wisp and Chaos Knight, but this has to be perfect from them. This has to really utilize all of their heroes as a Vengeful Spirit. Level 3, Tusk is level 4. But if you're going to go for a 4-man smoke at mid, it leaves your side lane so susceptible. That's where we see the Doom come into play. He's going to be able to run straight onto the Spectre, stop her from farming. And NGE kind of realised this. They're going to walk straight into Fei Mao. Earthshaker gets some ward down, but they see him first. The snowball down onto him. And he's going to keep him stunned up so he can't get that defensive Fisher out. Earthshaker will tank the gank. That's honestly well worth it for Trust, because that smoke was meant to be a big Ravage, a big couple of kills, and a way into the game for NGE, but instead it's the basically 5-roll Earthshaker that gets killed.
Yeah, realistically that's